the 2,000 words of Jesus that transformed the world. If you've heard of Jesus of Nazareth, you're likely familiar with his teachings, which have impacted billions of lives over the centuries. His most well-known lessons continue to resonate deeply, including love your neighbor as yourself and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. These and other principles form part of one of Jesus' most iconic discourses, the Sermon on the Mount. Though it comprises only 3 chapters, the Sermon on the Mount is filled with timeless lessons that have spanned generations, featuring powerful words like, "You are the salt of the earth. You cannot serve both God and money. And before removing the speck from another's eye, remove the plank from your own." And of course, there are challenging lessons like, if someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other, and love your enemies and bless those who persecute you. These teachings urge us to reflect profoundly on our way of living. The Sermon on the Mount is not merely a collection of random teachings. Jesus arranged them with great wisdom, and there is an underlying pattern that aids comprehension and memorization. At the heart of this sermon is the famous prayer Jesus taught his disciples. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What did Jesus mean by the kingdom of God coming to earth? Remember that Jesus was Jewish and grew up deeply immersed in the teachings of the Hebrew Scriptures. For the Jewish people, God created a perfect world and entrusted humans with the responsibility to govern it with wisdom, love, and justice. When peace and justice prevail, that is the kingdom of God, where God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. However, the task is not easy. Humanity, in its freedom, often rebels and attempts to build its own kingdoms, frequently without God's wisdom. Therefore, God chose the Israelites to represent his will on earth through the Torah, the divine teachings. Yet in Jesus' time, the kingdom of God seemed distant, with Israel under Roman rule. What happened? Why was the kingdom of God not manifesting? For many religious leaders of the time, like the Pharisees, the answer lay in Israel's unfaithfulness to the Torah. Others, like the Sadducees, sought ways to cooperate with Rome, while some, like the Zealots, rose to fight the oppressors, and others isolated themselves in the desert, awaiting a new beginning for Israel. Walking through Israel, however, you would mainly encounter ordinary people trying to survive and find meaning in their lives. Most were struggling, poor, sick, and hopeless. Many had lost their lands to the Romans and were burdened by heavy taxes. They were desperate. It was to these people that Jesus turned, healing the sick and proclaiming that the kingdom of God was at hand. People from all walks of life gathered to hear his teachings. And on one memorable day, Jesus climbed a mountain and declared that the kingdom of God began with those people, the humble, the marginalized, the powerless. What does this mean? The kingdom of God begins with those who are poor in spirit, with those who often feel defeated and despised, not among the powerful, but among those suffering and seeking hope. The Sermon on the Mount was carefully structured by Jesus, beginning with a series of blessings he proclaimed over those who followed him. These blessings reveal the principles of God's kingdom and teach us that often, it is the humble and weak who draw closest to God's heart. If you want to understand more about these blessings and how they can impact your life, stay with us and continue on this spiritual journey. The kingdom of God is closer than you might think. Thank you for staying with us and exploring these incredible Bible stories. If you felt the power of this message, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more weekly inspiration. Like to support our work and share this video with those you love. Together, let's spread faith and love worldwide. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Please subscribe.